Welcome back to the channel, folks. I am Matt. Hope you're all doing well. Today, we are going to check out the TGO pod mod by Vapefly. Yes, I know we've been looking at a lot of pod mods on this channel recently, but this one's very unique. It has some fingerprint technology that at first I thought was kind of gimmicky, but the implementation is done really well, and it also keeps the button from accidentally being pressed in your pocket. So let's go ahead and dive into it. This is what your packaging is going to look like. So inside you will have this card that explains how to set up the fingerprint reader. You have your device, 2 coil heads, a USB-C charging cable, and a user manual. So this device is a built-in 2300 milliamp hour battery made out of zinc alloy. It has this racing stripe on it. The coating is a little bit shiny, but it's not like super duper glossy. On this side here it says Vapefly. On that side, it says TGO Pod Mod. TGO stands for Touch and Go. On that side, you got your markings and designed and manufactured by Vapefly. Nothing on the bottom there. On this side here, you got your USB-C port, 1.5 amp charging, plus minus button, your screen, your fire button, and fingerprint sensor. And then up top here, you have your pod that's held in by magnets. Very strong magnets as well. 4 magnets on the bottom, magnets on the inside, contacts on the inside there. You got airflow control on the side here, AFC wheel. All right, and that airflow actually just feeds down this little gap right here and then over to your coil. Built-in drip tip, very, very comfortable. Pod holds 4.5 mLs of liquid. Now the first coil you get is a 0.3 ohm mesh coil rated for 30 to 40 watts. And there's what that guy looks like. It's a netting style mesh. And the other coil you get is a 0.6 ohm mesh. All right, looks like it's a little bit tighter inner diameter, as you can see. And this one is rated for 20 to 28 watts. Now, the cool thing about this is this is also compatible with the smoke RPM coils. I did test it out to make sure these would work in there. So any of the RPM coils will work in this device. So I am going to pop in this 0.6 ohm. Put a couple drops of liquid from the top, and the coils are just press fit. Line the flat sides up. And there we are. Okay, so as you can see there, the airflow control, when the pod is inside, the air just goes through there, down this little channel here, and over to your coil. Now, pretty cool fill system on this as well. Press down on this button right here, and slide over. Okay, so you gotta press that button, slides over, and you fill up right inside there. Like I said, 4.5 mLs of liquid, and you can't really see the very top of the tank there, to see how far up your liquid is. So I found kind of tilting like this is probably the easiest. And then when you're done, you push over, and it clicks into place. And then your pod just goes in like so. Very, very strong magnets. No movement at all once that thing's in there. Now to turn it on, it's 5 clicks. That button vibrates a little bit. You'll see some colors around it. It says engine start. Now, because this is a brand new device, it's going to prompt me to do the fingerprint reader. You have to set up 2 fingerprints, and these are admin fingerprints, okay, is what they call them. You can do a total of 6 in here, but these first 2 need to be yours, all right? So in order to do that, you click the button. There we go. It's blinking. And then you just want to touch this. They say up to 6 times. There we go. Okay, the next one you got to use a different finger. Press, or I guess to press and hold. It's blinking. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, more than 6, whatever. There we go. To get out of there, press on the button once and then go over to the back. And now we're all set up. All right, so you can see at the bottom there, that means your fingerprint sensor is in, what do they call it? Let me look at the manual here. That's in fingerprint mode, okay? So what that means is that if this thing isn't used for 3 minutes, then you have to unlock it with the fingerprint, okay? And it actually unlocks really fast. You just touch it and it unlocks. Now, if you click this button 3 times, 1, 2, 3, that turns the fingerprint mode off. And now we're in what's called communication mode. And what that does is it makes it so it's unlocked for up to 24 hours. And then after that 24-hour mark, then you would need to use your fingerprint to unlock it. So it doesn't completely turn it off. It just extends the time out to 24 hours. So, if you're using this all day long, you don't, have any worry about someone else trying to use your device or whatever, I would put it in that mode. And then, you only have to unlock it every 24 hours. If you, are around kids or whatever, and you have, are concerned, then click it 3 times. That's on. And now, after 3 minutes, it will always have to be unlocked. Now, one really cool thing about this fingerprint sensor, even if you don't care about having a fingerprint sensor on your mod, is the fact that the button press only works with a finger. So let's say it's in your pocket or something and your keys hit it or whatever, it doesn't work. So that's pretty cool. You could take anything, metal, whatever, that's not a fingerprint, press that, and it's not going to go off. So you don't have to worry about it firing in your pocket. Now, in order to adjust your wattage here, you got to press the up and down button. See how it just unlocked? And now we can adjust the wattage in 1 watt increments all the way up to 70 watts, round robins to 5 watts. Now that does lock after 5 seconds always, so keep that in mind. It auto locks these controls down here. So let's give it a few seconds. See, it just locked, and now it's automatically locked. In order to adjust wattage, you'd have to unlock it. So that's a nice feature. It just auto locks. Set your wattage, it'll auto lock, then you never have to worry about these buttons accidentally getting pressed. Now, if you click the fire button 4 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, you get into this little menu that's basically preheat: standard, sport, echo, variable power, curves. And then there is where you could set up your curves. And then you have a puff counter right there, and then exit. And that's pretty much it, guys. On that home screen, it shows we're in standard mode, your battery bar, your wattage right there, the lock, your ohm load, your voltage, your puff counter, and your seconds puffed. And then if you want to turn it completely off, 5 clicks. It vibrates, got a little ring light there. Pretty well done from Vapefly. So there's a look at it in the hand. Definitely pocketable. Here it is next to the Freemax Autopod. It's a little bit larger, but also has a bit larger battery, 2,000 milliamp hours to 2,300 milliamp hours. Weight-wise, they're very close to the same. And here's the one I've been using, the white and black. Also worth pointing out, you can't see your liquid level very well unless you look in through those windows right there. Okay, but if that's not good enough for you, you're going to have to pull up and check out your pod. All right, guys, that is it for the up close. Let's go ahead, go up top, vape these, and talk about them a little more. All right, here's the TGO pod mod. This one has the 0.3 ohm coil inside, 40 watts, airflow is wide open. Let's vape it. Medium warmth at that 40 watts. Quite a bit of airflow out of this thing. Really nice flavor. Now, if I close the air down 2/3 of the way, let's vape it like that. Restricts it a little bit. But keep in mind that, you're going through here and then down like a bigger chamber and then into your coil. And so the AFC works, but not until you really get, pretty tight on it, like 2/3, 3/4 of the way. This one has the 0.6 ohm coil inside, reading 0.57, 30 watts on this guy. Airflow is wide open. Here we go. More restricted. It's about a medium to tight restricted lung hit. This one's more of like a medium to loose restricted lung hit. While this is only rated for 28 watts, this 0.6 ohm, you can actually handle a little more. I have it at 30 now. Let's go up to 32. And it seems to keep up well. Now, going into pros and cons, cons first. First off, I found when I first started using this that I was accidentally sometimes closing the airflow because I'd hold it like this, thumb fire, and my finger right here is over the airflow, as you can see. Now, obviously, you just make it a habit to lower your finger, but it's just worth pointing out the airflow's in a bit of an awkward position. With my big hands, I kind of want to hold it like this, but I got to hold it more like this, if that makes sense. Also, you got these little windows here, but still kind of hard to see your liquid level. You can pull up like so, and because it's black up here, sometimes it's hard to tell exactly how full it is after you fill it. But I did find, tilting it a bit makes it a little easier to get, maximum amount of liquid in there and see where your air bubble is. What else? The drip tip's fairly narrow. It's more narrow than some of the other pod mod drip tips we've seen. It's still got a decent sized bore in there, but the outside's more narrow. I obviously don't mind it. Small mouth club. I think it's very comfortable, and it would feel nice like if you're using some of the RPM MTL coils in here. But for some people, the built-in tip here might be a little too narrow for them, but it's right up my alley. Besides that, it is 1.5 amp charging, so it takes a bit to charge it up, like an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes or so. So keep that in mind if you're trying to use this device all day. Going into pros here, there's a lot of pros. First off, fill method. Like when the pod is in place, you press down like that, press over on your drip tip, and you fill in right inside there, close it up. Really, really nice idea. Also, the way they implemented the fingerprint sensor is really well done. When you go to unlock it, it's really quick. It takes, a couple of touches when you're setting it up, but once you set it up, when you go to unlock, really, really quick. And I really like how that button can't accidentally be pressed by like some keys or whatever in your pocket. Flavor is nice on the coil heads. Vapes kind of like the RPM coils do, as would be expected. And it's a big pro that you can use all the RPM coils in this. So you shouldn't have any problem finding coil heads out there because just about every vape shop, online retailer has RPM coils. Also, I forgot to mention, they are going to be coming out with an RBA for this as well, but I don't have it yet. So vape quality is nice. Flavor's good. The build quality on it is nice. It feels solid. Airflow control works okay, but I already explained why, it takes a lot to get any kind of resistance. But you can just buy some RPM coils for the draw you like and not have to fiddle too much with the AFC. So yeah, it's awesome. It's nice to see some innovation from a pod mod like this, something a little bit different. Really like the way they did this, and the button feels good. It works really well. It's a high-tech gadget that's right up my alley. I think this one's gonna sell well. But see, my finger there just barely started covering the airflow, so you got to look out for that. That's one downside. I would like to see a replaceable 18650 version with this as well. So, really nice job, Vapefly. Now, price on this thing is going to be around 50 bucks, but not many people have it in stock yet. Price might go down a little bit. Going to come in multiple different colors. Let's end it there, folks. That about wraps it up. Until next time, thanks for watching. Suck my mod.